to our next topic, and that is, kind of how to check the PAX receipt right after the trip ends.
You bet. So
So
this weekend I drove this weekend,
Mhm.
and Uber had sent me, I sent you the screenshot. They sent me a decent incentive, 5 trips for $50. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. What do you do when they send you 5 for 50? You do 5 shorties and take their money and make them lose money. And then it was another attachment to it. It was 25 more for another 150 until February, whatever, 6th or whatever it is. I'm like, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't do it. But most likely I'll do it. Do some 3-4 shorties in the morning rush hour in my neighborhood. So what I did was I did a compilation of deliveries and those 5 rideshare trips. And I came up with this conclusion that, I knew this, but I just had to prove it to you guys too, because most of you, by the way, say, "Oh, do you even drive?" I'm like, bro, I drive probably as much as anybody. But also, of course, when they show me the money. So here's the deal. The Uber math that we talked about is fuzzy, but we're going to get to that in a second. But what I wanted to know, what is the top complaint today, Chris? Oh, Uber makes 60%. Oh, Uber makes 70%. Oh, Lyft made 80%. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I know on Lyft, you cannot check it. That's completely non-transparent. Week or 9 days later, you will get a PDF statement, which is really complicated. And I spent 20 minutes trying to figure out how they got to the numbers because it's so complicated. And I'm like, okay, so forget Lyft at the moment. But I figured out a way of how to check the passenger receipt within your car right after the trip. Now, this may have been there all along. I don't know. If it was, great. If this is new, it was news to me because I didn't want to come home or log on to the website with my credentials to see the PAX receipt, right? Now, I did a screen recording. It's about 3-4 minutes long, and I walked through you guys with my comments throughout. So let's do that, and we'll go after that. Analyze trip by trip.
So a lot of drivers are complaining about not being able to see the receipt of the passenger like they used to. Well, you can do it 2 different ways. You can do it on your app as well as going online and logging on to your Uber account. Unfortunately, Lyft does not offer this transparency. On Lyft, you will get a statement in PDF format in about 8 to 10 days after you finish your week. However, on the Uber app, you click on your earnings, click on See Weekly Summary, pick the day that you want to see the specific trip. In this case, I'm going to show you guys how to do it on Uber Eats as well as on a trip. Scroll up, click on See Earnings Activity. So here's one trip that I did under Uber Eats. You click on the specific trip. On Uber Eats, you're still able to see the receipt of the passenger immediately. You scroll up all the way down. It says More Details. Click on More Details. And here it is, the customer payment. Customer paid $11.72. The tip was $9.95. The service fee was $8.72 because this was a minimum fare trip. They paid me $3, but I ended up making $12.95 with the tip. Now for RideShare, it has more few clicks, but it's pretty simple. Go back. I'm going to scroll up to find a RideShare trip that I did. Let's pick this one with a tip. It was 11 minutes, 52 seconds and 3.6 miles. Click on the trip. It'll open a secondary page. Scroll up. You will see that gray little box where it says to see summary of customer payments. Click on that box. That's a live link. It will take you to the Uber website. You'll see weekly statements is picked automatically. You will have to click on activity, which is on the left side of weekly statements. Once you do that, go find a trip by scrolling up that you're interested in, but all trips, as you see, are there with the view details box. So this was the trip that I highlighted. I'm going to click on view details. It'll take a couple of seconds. Keep scrolling up. It clearly says the fare was $7.85, including a wait time pickup and a tip, $10.85. Right under your earnings, there is a more details box with a down arrow. Click on the down arrow, and here comes the Uber service fee summary. Customer payments were $14.82 in total. California driver benefits 75 cents. Commercial auto insurance for $3. Region or city fee 10 cents. My earnings were $10.85. In this case, Uber only made 12 cents on a gross basis, and upfront earnings are at the bottom at $5.76. So by just scrolling back up, you can do that and click back on trip details. You can do this practically for each trip right after it ends or at the end of your shift. So now you can see what the passenger paid.
All right. So now I know I've done this since I tested it a couple of times. I got a server error message, 404. It says 404 server error. Is that what it, yeah, resume, you're correct. It does that once in a while, but I mean, I was out there for 5.5 hours. Every single time it worked. So if there is a server, you know, what I'm trying to say is that you don't have to go to the website now, log in, do this, do that. It's there. That gray box, you click on it step by step. You guys can replay this and figure it out. Lyft, zero transparency. Shame on you. Uber, at least, hey, man, you know, they put something there that you can still go check what the passenger paid and get pissed off immediately. So I'm like, hey, on that case, Uber only made 12 cents, people. So, I mean, and then I checked each single one of my trips without including the 5 for 50 promotion, Chris. Uber made like nothing on any of these trips. I don't know.
And then the question is, out of those trips, they lost money because of that 5 for 50 deal, right?
Oh, definitely. If you put all of it in there, bro, they lost their ass.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we're going to be breaking down those few trips.
Okay, can you highlight that Vic G comment, please? Because, you know, that Vic G comment right there, you know, for star that one.
Which one? I think Uber is not giving the right amount.
G, it says, yeah, Sergio, Uber not giving the right amount. Yeah, that one. And Michelle says,
okay.
All right. Well, no, Michelle, I mean, this is on your app. So while you're sitting, you want to get pissed off to Uber to see what kind of take rate they had, then you can do it in your car before the next trip instead of, you know, you still have to do a lot of clicks even if you go onto the website. So, all right. So, yeah, I mean, this is an easy way to look at passenger receipts. And I'm going to say it. Don't get pissed off, people. Uber does not take 50%, 60%, 70%. They don't. If you figure the math, it's not there yet. Maybe they will get there. Because if they were to take really 50, 60%, they would be swimming in cash. Now, one or two trips, maybe they do 50, 60%. But if you look at an overall picture, they don't. But I'm not defending Uber, as you guys know. I'm not an Uber lover, but that's a fact. So, anyway.
Well, that's why the whole thing comes down to track your trips. So you should be knowing, you know, how much you made, the passenger, what they paid. And then, you know, for double verification, if you ask your passengers what they paid, sometimes you'll be able to get some of that information just to make sure that comparison purposes are correct. And I mean, like every once in a while when you go and look, you're going to see, they're definitely going to take more than they probably should for a ride, but it's supposed to balance out, they claim. And that's why, like I say, if you track all of your rides and then actually look at what you made versus what they made, averaging out, you know, your rides for the day, your rides for the week, your rides for the month, that number from 50 to 60% is going to be much lower, especially if you are working in the different bonuses and promotions and quests and streaks and everything else that you could potentially take advantage of. Because that's one of the best things to do is, you know, try to game the system by playing their game when it's going to be more convenient for you. All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content
make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.